6:30 p.m. live from our studios in the economic capital of Cameroon, Douala. Today is the 4th of September 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, we are broadcasting from the economic capital of Cameroon, Douala. Thank you for joining us on today's edition of the Weekend Bilingual Newscast. Good evening, Etape.
Bonsoir Cynthia, bonsoir à nos millions de téléspectateurs. C'est l'heure du journal. Merci de nous rejoindre dans cette édition d'information bilingue sur ma Média Prime TV. Vous avez raison. On commence d'abord avec toi, Cynthia.
Ladies and gentlemen, to begin this newscast, it's almost a year that prices of some basic commodities took a steady rise, and despite calls from the Consumers Trade Union in partnership with the Ministry of Trade in Cameroon, prices harmonization is still a far-fetched dream to be realized. As such, commercial users of wheat flour and related products will now reveal what new strategies they will take up in a bid to keep their business alive. Dolingonde in this report.
Contrary to Dr. Nzoba's alternative proposal,
on va débunker le beignet haricot. C'est pas une question de dire qu'on ne doit pas manger, mais on doit savoir ce qu'on mange. Et ceux qui ne veulent plus, ils vont arrêter. Ceux qui veulent continuer, ils sauront au moins.
Mami Makala, a popular puff roll, pap and bean seller based around Bonamusadi here in Douala, the nation's economic capital, remains adamant to change, especially with the upcoming school resumption. As it can be seen, she is specialized in the sale of puff rolls complemented with beans and locally made corn pap. Talking with this lady to understand her daily motivation, she says she is here to serve the population, especially the students who will be returning back to school, but not without mentioning her biggest challenge, which comes from the augmentation of flour prices amongst other products in the market following the war in Ukraine. We've been into this business, and what was never expensive has become very expensive today. The price of flour has increased, the price of vegetable oil as well. A liter now goes at 1,500 francs. A bag of flour, which used to cost 18,000 francs, now goes at 25,000 francs plus. A cup of bean, which used to sell at 200 francs, is now sold at 250 francs CFA. So we've been left at the roundabout, stranded with nowhere else to go. However, in order to keep the business going, Mami Makala has been able to strategize the way forward. In a bid to make profits, I'm forced to reduce the puff roll sizes. I can now deduce 2 balls of rolls from what I used to sell as 1 piece. A spoon of beans, which used to sell at 50 francs, now goes at 100 francs, just to make gains, and of course, my clients are okay with that. On the question of substitutional flour type, like cassava, potatoes, plantains, etc., which have all been proposed by the government and other researchers, Mama Makala says that's just a try-by-error adventure to ruin her business, given her adaptation to wheat flour in her own words. No, we can never try to use the other flour types because we are already adapted to the use of imported flour, so it cannot go. And now, the common cry.
The size of the proposal used to be 10 francs at first, but now it's being sold for 25 francs, and the quality is not there.
It is almost a year since the prices of most basic commodities began increasing. Yet, the year is coming to an end, with little changes being observed on price harmonization. Nonetheless, the common man remains supplicative for the government to level up on their behalf.
A day-old baby girl who was born and abandoned by her mother in Bengui, Momo division of the Northwest region, and was rescued by Cameroon military last Friday, passed yesterday. Eileen Sama recounts.
Those are the cries of the newborn baby girl, birthed successfully by its mother, wrapped in a piece of cloth with its umbilical cord still attached, tied up in a black plastic paper and dumped in this bush near the monastery in mile 17 Bengui. It was found by the Cameroon military on guard in the area in Bengui divisional headquarters of Momo Division Northwest Region, who were alerted by the baby's cries. Although this baby was found alive on Friday, September 2nd, 2022, and declared fine by medics after checks, she reportedly died Saturday morning, the 3rd of September. Many, especially mothers, have condemned this despicable act in worse terms, which has been recurrent in recent times, calling on all young girls and women to avoid unwanted pregnancy, but not to give in to such devilish acts of abandoning their newborn babies in unhealthy conditions and environments, but preferably drop them off in an orphanage, church, hospital, or any other conducive place for a newborn baby where goodwill ambassadors can assist in raising the child or children. Law enforcement officers in Bangui have opened investigations on the case to track down the perpetrator of the act.
À quelques heures du démarrage du train de la rentrée scolaire saison 2022-2023, la fièvre ne fait que monter du côté des parents en raison des temps qui sont devenus très difficiles ces derniers moments. Leurs inquiétudes est racontée dans cet élément signé Gladys Bomotonkina.
Plus qu'un jour avant la rentrée scolaire 2022-2023, prévue le lundi 5 septembre 2022. Un jour très attendu pour certains élèves allant en classe supérieure et ayant toutes leurs fournitures scolaires, mais néanmoins peu enthousiastes pour ceux devant reprendre les classes ou encore pour ceux n'ayant pas de fournitures scolaires. Il est important de noter que cette situation semble être plus traumatisante pour les parents n'ayant pas pu préparer leurs enfants à temps.
Jusqu'à l'heure où je vous parle ici, aucun de mes enfants n'est préparé. Je ne sais même pas dans quelle école ils iront, puisque moi-même jusqu'à présent, je n'ai pas été payé. Je me sens tellement mal. Je ne sais pas si l'école va d'abord débuter avant qu'ils aillent ou encore s'il sera possible qu'on les accepte sans frais d'inscription. Ce n'est pas facile pour nous. Il n'y a pas d'argent. Même quand tu demandes à ton mari d'acheter les livres, il se plaint qu'il n'y a pas d'argent. Bref, nous sommes vraiment en train de rencontrer d'énormes difficultés à ce niveau et les fournitures scolaires sont trop chères. Même en ce qui concerne les tenues de classe, lorsque tu te rends dans le marché et tu demandes le prix du tissu, tout est élevé. Donc jusqu'à cet instant, nous ne sommes pas encore préparés pour nos enfants. Nous ne savons même pas si c'est demain lundi que nous allons aller chercher l'école ou pas.
Par contre, pour les enfants déjà prêts pour le début des cours, ils espèrent que cette année sera fructueuse.
Je suis très contente cette année, bien que la vie soit très difficile en ce moment. Mes parents se sont battus pour que j'aie mes fournitures et que je commence.
Il est important de noter que cette année académique 2022-2023, qui sonnera ses cloches dans quelques heures, intervient dans un contexte où les enseignants menacent de gréver et le gouvernement de leur côté continue de chercher des solutions à leurs différents problèmes.
Rentrée scolaire sans paquet minimum, les maires de la communauté urbaine de la ville de Bafoussam n'ont pas fait un geste de coup de cœur aux écoles primaires et maternelles en raison de la non-disponibilité du crédit de l'État. Une information donnée au cours de la session ordinaire du conseil municipal dont Flore Kenyé a assisté ou a pris part. Voici son compte rendu.
Dans son discours à l'occasion de la tenue de sa session ordinaire du conseil municipal, Cyril Niang, le maire de la commune d'arrondissement de Bafoussam 1er, signale que les cartons de crédit pour acquisition des matériels de fourniture scolaire prévus par l'article 20 de l'arrêté du 31 décembre 2010 du ministère de l'Éducation de base pourtant disponibles ont été retirés sans la moindre information sur les motivations d'une telle décision, encore moins sur la date à laquelle ils seront de nouveau transmis.
Malgré que nous n'avions pas de carton de crédit dans le budget d'investissement public pour donner le paquet minimum, le conseil municipal m'autorise de prélever une petite somme de 4,5 millions pour donner le strict minimum, le temps que l'État essaie de voir, comme d'habitude, de quoi donner pour le paquet minimum pour la rentrée scolaire 2022-2023.
Une situation qui inquiète dans un contexte où les mouvements syndicaux sont en pleine revendication et ce, à quelques heures de la rentrée scolaire.
Ce que les autres demandent, c'est légitime, c'est la même chose que nous demandons aussi. Mais peut-être que les méthodes pour demander sont un peu différentes.
Le préfet de la MIFIKI justifie la situation par les dispositions prises par l'État en vue de résoudre les revendications des enseignants, salue l'initiative de la commune d'arrondissement de Bafoussam 1er.
Depuis janvier, c'était un peu tendu et avec la situation des enseignants qu'il fallait adresser, même à notre niveau, ça n'a pas du tout été facile. C'est pour ça que je salue le fait que vous acceptiez de prendre une délibération pour le lancement effectif de la rentrée scolaire pour nos jeunes apprenants. C'est une chose qu'il faut vraiment applaudir. Je suis content.
Classé deuxième sur le plan régional en ce qui concerne la réalisation des projets BIP pour le compte du premier semestre, le maire Nyan annonce que le FECOM vient de donner son accord pour le démarrage effectif des travaux de construction de l'hôtel de ville de Bafoussam 1er. Cyril Nian précise que la pose de la première pierre se fera d'ici 2 semaines. Le montant débloqué pour les 10 travaux se chiffre à 1,257 milliard de francs CFA.
As time evolves, deforestation have continued in thick rainforests in Cameroon. Pygmies living in this area who depend on hunting as a source of living have expressed worries as concerns this phenomenon. We get the details in the following report.
Pygmies in Cameroon who have been hunting in forests for over 5 years have complained of being homeless as a result of cutting down of trees and destruction of forests. Thick rainforests, which serve as a home for pygmies, are now used as timber exploitations and mining sites. Every year, 8 million hectares of forests is being overexploited, and this creates a problem in Baka forest and generally to the pygmy families. If all this is cut, this Baka area will lose its identity in general. Integration forces, which is aimed at stopping pygmies not to live in the forests and turn forests into national parks, have not been successful. Our lives depend on this forest. This forest is part of us. This is where we got our lives back, and this is where we get our food. So we cannot leave this forest. The need for timber and other uses of trees in different areas have negatively affected the lives of the pygmies, as they are calling for measures to be taken to avoid this threat. These huge trailers pass here every day. They are vehicles that destroy our forests. This is their work on a daily basis. According to reports by scientists, together with the Center for International Forest Research, the hunting area is also at risk.
Reference Bilingual Nursery and Primary School has gone operational during the day of the launch, which took place on the 2nd of September. The parish priest of St. Joseph, the Waka Parish Bonaberi, Father Livinus, blessed the institution. The priorities equally presented, the proprietress of the school equally presented the public competent staff of the school set to carry out effective work as they look forward receiving the first batch of the institution come Monday, 5th September. Let's get the details with Colette Loom.
I believe and I trust in you. I have entrusted Reference Bilingual Nursery and Primary School into your hands.
These words from a phenomenal lady during the launch of her prestigious institution, Reference Bilingual Nursery and Primary School at Carrefour Bambutus, Bonaberi, Douala set pace for a citadel of learning, changing the narratives through drilling kindergartens from nursery through primary into acquiring skills and equally discovering skills so they can embrace the technical fields as they graduate from such an institution and thus become job creators and not job seekers.
Kids develop develop the love for studying deeper electronics to know much about it. It will be a play day for the kids where they will come and they make use of the toys, in which case we'll identify some of their talents and then we'll try to make sure that we develop them. Different kids will be drilled towards technical education. Most of the children, as they play, will identify some skills in them that we can now develop.
During the launch ceremony of such a magnificent center, reference Bilingual Nursery and Primary School, September 2, 2022, some parents moved by its outstanding touch in the structural setup and other vital educational aspects were commendable.
As a parent, what I have seen is really a place that I want parents to send their children. There are times that we see schools in America. I think America school is here in Carrefour Bambutos.
And to the head teacher as he begins the journey of planting educational seeds.
To launch this school as we want to begin the 2022-2023 academic year, we actually really want to welcome the parents and the kids, as the parents will come and entrust their children into our hands. So we are actually giving the confidence to the parents as they will be entrusting their children to us, that we are going to do our best in order for the children to really acquire a good knowledge at the end of the academic year.
As the adage goes, what a man can do, a woman can do best. Applause in the educational upliftment in Cameroon, as she didn't only leave those present at the launch mouth-watering, but promise and advancement in all spheres in this institution and good results in intelligentsia to crown it all.
This vision is actually a long-time dream that has almost come to its realization, although it's not totally realized, but at this level I thought it to make it known to the public that we have actually started somewhere. This day is so important to me because I notice how a good number of people have sacrificed, abandoned so many activities that they have, their tight program, to come and witness our project, to see it and see the taste of what we have here.
Education being the backbone of every society, Cameroonians are therefore craving for more of such great moves educational-wise.
September is observed as Blood Cancer Awareness Month, which affected people spread awareness as well as share practical measures and ways to help combat the life-threatening disease. Details with Bokengo Worthy in the following report.
Also called leukemia, blood cancer is the formation of tissues in the blood, making it difficult for the body to fight off infection and carry out its functions smoothly, bearing different types including acute and chronic leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma. The life-threatening condition has 3 stages with mutations from normal tissue cells to cancerous tissue cells over time. Typically starting from the bone marrow, where blood is produced, blood cancer is caused by radiation, poor sanitation, tobacco consumption, genetic disorder, exposure to certain chemicals, and bears risk factors such as age, family history, compromised immune system, chemotherapy, history of organ transplant, amongst others. Accounting for an estimated 10 million deaths in 2020 as per data from the World Health Organization, blood cancer, however, has a 70% survival rate of all cancer-related cases. Nonetheless, these cases too often are mostly diagnosed in the later stages of the disease, which accounts for the 1.24 million new cases yearly worldwide. What noting is the fact that every 3 minutes, someone dies of blood cancer around the world. With an increase in deaths and new cases yearly, common signs like fatigue, joint pain, fever, nose bleeding, night sweats, bruising, as well as unexplained weight loss should not be ignored. Shedding more light on the lifelong and threatening condition every September, it is important for all to keep hydrated, avoid smoking, or second-hand smoke, no family history, eat intentional healthy meals, go for regular check-up, engage in physical exercise so as to help reduce prevalence, death, and achieve the 2030 SDG Goals 3 for good health and well-being.
En Somalie, une attaque des islamistes Shabab a fait 19 morts, tous des civils. Les 3 soldats ivoiriens sur 49 ont été libérés hier au Mali. Les femmes ont regagné Abidjan aussitôt. Et au Tchad, hypothéqué par les boycotts, le dialogue national est suspendu jusqu'à demain lundi. On voit tout ceci dans cet élément.
Au moins 19 civils tués, c'est le dernier bilan d'une nouvelle attaque des islamistes Shabab dans le centre de la Somalie dans la nuit de vendredi à samedi. Sur une route reliant les villes de Beled, Wen et de Massas, les assaillants regroupaient les véhicules et les incendiaient après avoir tué leurs passagers. Les Shabab expliquent s'en être pris à des combattants qui ont aidé les forces gouvernementales à les combattre. Cet autre massacre des civils se produit pourtant, les Somaliens ont encore en mémoire la mort de 21 personnes qui avaient été causées par ces milices dans un grand hôtel à Mogadiscio il y a 2 semaines. Au Mali, 3 femmes faisant partie du groupe de 49 militaires ivoiriens arrêtés le 10 juillet dernier auraient été libérées. Une annonce officielle faite hier samedi soir à Lomé au Togo au cours d'une conférence de presse très brève. Sur les pupitres, 3 drapeaux, celui du Togo qui joue la médiation et ceux des belligérants dont la Côte d'Ivoire et le Mali. Ce point de presse est tenu en présence du ministre malien des Affaires étrangères, Abdoulaye Diop, Fidel Sarasoro, directeur de cabinet du chef de l'État ivoirien. Après l'annonce de libération, les 3 soldats ont regagné aussitôt Abidjan, accompagnés du chef d'état-major des forces armées ivoiriennes. En attendant, la mise en liberté des autres 46 soldats. Au Tchad, le dialogue national est toujours suspendu jusqu'à demain lundi, indique Mahamad Idriss Déby Inou, qui a eu un ton dur aujourd'hui contre ceux qui boycottent le dialogue, et principalement le parti d'opposition Les Transformateurs. Le siège de ces derniers est encerclé par les forces de l'ordre depuis 3 jours. Le leader de cette formation politique, Success Masra, fait savoir qu'aucune discussion n'est possible si la levée du blocus et la libération de ces militants ne sont pas effectuées. De ce dialogue national, l'Église catholique a aussi suspendu sa participation. Nous avons l'impression d'assister à une campagne électorale, a regretté l'évêque Wangebani Martin.
Sur cette actualité internationale que nous mettons la clé sur le paillasson. Mesdames et messieurs, merci de nous avoir suivis. On se donne rendez-vous, si Dieu le veut, le week-end prochain pour une autre édition d'information bilingue sur MyMedia Prime TV. Une fois de plus, bonne soirée et bonne soirée à toi, Cynthia.
Good evening, Quentin. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with us throughout this news edition, receiving technical assistance from Christain Tebong and coordinated by TATA. I have been Cynthia Azanu. See you next week. Good night.